Hello friends, so in this video we are going to see about the B.Ed second semester environmental education topic. So the unit 1 is Introduction to Environment Conservation and Management. The meaning of environment is environment can be defined as sum of total all living and non-living elements that their effects on human lives. While all living means in biotic and abiotic elements, which includes animals, plants, and abiotic includes water, land, sunlight, etc. And the ecosystem structure and function. The meaning of ecosystem. Ecosystem is nothing but a community of life forms in concurrence with non-living components. That means interacting with each other. Ecosystem is nothing but living organisms interact with each other and their surrounding environment. And this ecosystem is coined by A.G. Tanksley. The structure of ecosystem characterized by the organism of both two types, biotic and abiotic components. This includes the transfer of energy in the environment. As I said earlier, it is divided into biotic components and abiotic components. Abiotic and biotic are interrelated in ecosystem, which helps in the recycling or flow of energy throughout the boundaries. The ecosystem is classified into biotic factors, abiotic factors. Biotic factors classified into producers, consumers, decomposers. Consumers are classified into primary, secondary, and tertiary consumers. So biotic components refers to all living components. They are autotrophs, heterotrophs, saprotrophs, or decomposers. Producers includes all autotrophs such as plants. Autotrophs means they produce the food through the process photosynthesis. Consequently, all other organism depends on the producers. Next is consumers or heterotrophs, or the organism depends on other organism for food. Consumers are classified into primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Primary consumers are always herbivorous. They rely on producers for food. Secondary consumers are the consumers that rely on primary consumer for the food. They are omnivorous and carnivorous. Tertiary consumers are organisms that depends on the secondary consumer for food. They are carnivorous and omnivorous. Quaternary consumers are present in some food chain. This relies on tertiary consumers for food. Decomposers are fungi and bacteria. They present the dead and decay organisms. These decomposes organic matter into the useful for the plants. These are the recycling nutrients to the plants. Abiotic components or the non-living components. It includes air, water, soil, minerals, sunlight, temperature, nutrients, wind, altitudes, and the wind. Functions of ecosystem. What are the functions of ecosystems? Is supports life systems, cycling nutrients between biotic and abiotic components, It cycles minerals through the biosphere. The abiotic components help in synthesis of organic material. Next, the productivity rate of biomass production, energy flow. Energy flows from one trophic level to another trophic level. The energy captured from sun flows from producer to consumers and then to decomposes finally back to the environment. A decomposition is a process of breaking down the dead organic material. The topsoil is a major site for decomposition. Nutrient cycle is an ecosystem. Nutrients are consumed and recycled back in various forms for utilized by the various organisms. Food chain. The sun is the ultimate source of energy on earth. It produces the energy required for all plant life. The plant utilizes this energy and produce the food material through the photosynthesis process. During the biological process, light energy is converted into chemical energy and is passed on successive trophic levels. The flow of energy from a producer to consumer and eventually to the apex predators is called as food chain. And the dead and decay materials along with the organic is broken down into organic matters by the decomposes for this reutilized by the plants. Then we are going to see about the food chain, sun and the producer, the primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, the apex predator. And the decomposes with the grasshopper eats the plant, the mouse eats the grasshopper, the snake eats the mouse, the eagle eats the snakes. When the eagle dies, the fungi break down the organic matter and supplies nutrients to the plants. Food web. They are a unique interaction and relationship involved in transportation of energy. The energy, once produced and captured, is distributed to various living organisms. This transfer of energy is termed as food web. All the processes in this world, whether living or non-living, need energy. Living organisms are capable of producing energy or getting it through production. They need this energy to maintain cells and tissues. It also required for supporting voluntary and involuntary actions of the human bodies and other multiple processes within the body like reproduction, cell fission, metabolism, digestion, circulation, excretion, and much more. The ultimate source of energy on earth is sun. No energy can be produced without the sun. Especially plants capture sunlight and utilize for food production. This is called photosynthesis. Ecological pyramid. The first stage is producers. Second one is primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Producers, which can produce their own food through the sunlight and photosynthesis, water and carbon dioxide, converting it into a simple glucose which break down to produce energy. This energy is stored in the form of sugars for later use, which is the fruits in plants case. The primary consumers, they are also called as herbivores who eats produces. Sometimes become prey to these animals become prey to other animals on the higher food chain like mice, horses, birds, deer, and some insect fishes, zooplankton, snails, etc. are primary consumers. Secondary consumers who feed on the primary consumers usually eat meat and term as predators, lion, hawks, snakes, host spiders and few secondary consumers. Tertiary consumers who feeds on the secondary consumers is called as the top predators. They are also termed as apex predators and have no natural enemies. Naturally, you would assume that human are, but they are not. Next topic is biodiversity. Biodiversity is a variation among living organisms from different sources, including terrestrial, marine, desert, and ecologically complex of which they are a part. Biodiversity is a important features of our planet. The term is coined by in 1985. Biodiversity is holds ecological, economic significance, nourishment, housing, fuel, clothing, and several other resources also extraction and monetary benefits, tourism. So there are three types. The species biodiversity is a different variety of different type of species found in a particular area. It include species ranging from plant to different microorganisms. Genetic biodiversity is variation among genetic pieces of organism. Every individual of a particular species different from each other in their genetic constitution. That is why every human look different from each other. Similarly, there are different varieties in some species of rice, wheat, maize, barley, etc. Ecological biodiversity is a collection of living, non-living organisms and their interaction with each other. Ecological biodiversity refers to the ecological balance is a state of dynamic equilibrium within the community of organisms